We are live. Welcome to Getting Real, where we talk about real stories, strategies, and mindset shifts that help you build wealth, freedom, and a life you love. I'm your host, Monique Hom. Today, we're diving into the single most important mindset shift you need to make if you want to create a seven-figure life. And here's the best part: it's not about working harder, it's not about doing more, it's definitely not about burning yourself out. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about shifting from hustle to alignment. For years, we have been taught that if we just hustle hard enough, success will come, right? No pain, no gain. Work hard, muscle through. We got to grind, sacrifice sleep, sacrifice family time, because that's what it takes to make millions, and millions will make you happy. But here's the truth: hustle has a ceiling, especially for women. Hustle ties your wealth directly to how many hours you work, and eventually you max out. That's why so many high achieving women find themselves successful on paper. They look great on the outside, but they're exhausted, they're disconnected, and they're wondering, is this all there really is? I've had 19 interviews for an upcoming summit that I'm doing next week, seven figure lifestyle summits. I've been interviewing these 7, 8, 9 figure women entrepreneurs. And there's been a common theme: seven figure wealth is not built on hustle. As one woman said, you can hustle your way to six figures. When you're trying to do seven and beyond, it requires something totally different. It's built on alignment. Alignment means bringing your actions, your energy, and your vision into harmony. It's about creating wealth in a way that feels good. Doesn't look good necessarily, feels good. Supports your health, it supports your relationships, it supports your lifestyle, and it allows you to actually love the life you are building. When you're in alignment, opportunities flow. The right people show up, money comes more easily. It does not feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill. It feels like you get to just lie downhill. Like you're being carried by a current that's working with and for you. So from these interviews with these incredible, incredible women, which I'm in so much gratitude right now from all these interviews. I've been so lit up from these conversations. There's just something about hanging out with women that are doing the thing that they were born to do. There's just this aliveness. There's this like it's a magnetism, and it's like contagious, right? So I've been hanging out with these ladies, and there's this common denominator. There's this one thing that I heard again and again and again: alignment shows up as a common denominator for extraordinary results, for literally miracles. Like, this is what creates miracles, and it comes from doing things that feel good. And I'll explain more how you get there, but there are a couple of the stories really stand out. So one is Nikki Cruz. um Doctors told her she would never walk again. She'd actually been in a wheelchair for years and had these other health challenges, was shaking. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't comb her hair. She was told, look, you're never going to walk again. And she had this shift, this alignment, and that instead of giving up, she leaned into joy. What can I do from where I am? Within 3 months, she didn't even realize she did. She just got up and walked. Now she's walking. She's still like her body's great. That's the power of alignment. Another story is of Marilyn Harper, who is a channel. She channels this intelligence Adironda. And for years, she was like this, she reluctantly became a channel, but felt called to do this. And for years, she was doing that and making like, in a good year, I think 10,000. She'd never made more than 10,000 a year, but she got really into alignment. And within a year, all right, people showed up, opportunities. She was making 7 figures. There are many stories like this. Things that most people would say are miracles. But as Dr. Liz Dobbins said and told me, we need to stop calling them miracles because it's normal when you are living like this. When you're in that like aligned space, that's normal. That's just who you are. So how do you start living like this? How do you start making that shift? How do you start moving into alignment? I want to share with you 4 practices that you can start today to start to do this. Okay? There's no excuse, and it begins right now, and it's so accessible. So the first one is you want to get clear on what you want. What do you want? And what feels good? So you really want to get clarity on what are your values? What is your vision? What truly brings you joy? What makes you come alive? Without clarity, it's impossible to know what alignment looks like for you. And sometimes with clarity, it's okay if you're not clear on the what exactly. What's more important to get clarity on is how it feels. How will it feel when you're on the other side? Because oftentimes we'll make these goals, right? And it's like, I have a goal, $5 million in the bank, right? I want to have $5 million in the bank this year. And that's a great goal. But why? Why? How do you think that 5 million will make you feel to have it in the bank, right? And is it because it will feel fun and exciting? You'll feel accomplished, you'll feel relief. Maybe it's because you want to feel that security, you want to feel like that stability of having all of this money in the bank for you. What is it, the actual feeling that you want to go for? Is it you want this so you can have freedom, so you can be able to spend, like that freedom to be able to spend time with who you want, when you want, where you want? What are you really going for? Because oftentimes if we can focus on the feeling, right, and we'll get into the next ones, like ultimately we want what we want because of how it'll make us feel. One of the things about that is that we can start feeling that way today, right? You can start feeling free today. You can have fun today. You can like find a way to feel secure today. You don't have to wait until $5 million is in the bank. But also if you're what's calling you is that feeling, like wanting to have the freedom to be able to connect with your family and the people you care about. You don't want to have to like struggle and work 24/7 to have this $5 million in the bank, missing all these opportunities to connect with the people you love and care about. Right? It's not the money itself, right? That's the thing. It's that feeling. So it's really important that you know, like what is it that you want to feel? What is it that you value? Right? So the values, the feelings, and then you can, assign some things to it, right? Don't get too attached to the things, because sometimes different things will show up that give you that feeling. And those things are often so much better than what you imagined, right? So we don't want to get too attached to the things, but the feelings and the values, right? That's what we want to really get clarity on. That's step one. Step two is to pause before you take action, because you want to make sure that before you say yes to anything, before you do anything, you ask, does this align with my vision, values? Does it align with my joy? Does it feel the way I want it to feel? Then pause. Don't do anything that doesn't meet that. And it's one of the things that also came up often in all these interviews was about the importance of doing less. We need to do so much less than we think we do. And we think we have to work harder, hustle, 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 hustle. And no, really the secret to getting to that 7-figure abundance and lifestyle is pausing, doing less, allowing that feeling, allowing that alignment. And when you're in that alignment, a lot of what you need will just show up for you. It's like that current that pulls you where you're going. You do not have to struggle, and it will come from out of the blue. You're like, I want to feel this, and I'd love to experience that. And maybe it'll go this way, but then a phone call will come, or this like random email, or you'll get, something like out of the blue will show up. You're like, oh my gosh, who knew that would happen? But that's how it works, right? So it's often not going to come in the way you think. So, but but there will be action to take. It's not like you just sit there and you meditate and like, and then it all shows up. There will be action to take, but the action will feel good. It will feel the way you want to feel, and it will bring you closer. It will feel in alignment with who you are, with what you want to. It's not even who you want to become, because you become what you're becoming. You just are it. You're not like trying to become it. You just are it. And from that place of feeling it, of aligning with it, of doing things that kind of feel good and are aligned, it shows up. So 3 is to use joy as a compass. When things are draining to you, when things energetically, it's like, ugh. If it feels like blah, if it drains you, if it doesn't like light you up, make you come alive, if it does not bring you joy, let it go. It's not serving you. It's doing the exact opposite. If it's draining your energy, it's draining your bank account. Ultimately, right? Maybe it's not like it looks, maybe it's not like subtracting, but it's draining your potential. So if it lights you up, even if it feels scary, because there's actually a really fine line between fear and excitement. Excitement is fear with breath. Gay Hendricks in The Big Leap said that. I'm paraphrasing it. Basically, like, there are the flip sides of the same coin. When you're afraid, you're just holding your breath. But if you breathe into it, then you can start to feel into the excitement of it. So when something is exciting, and even if it's a little scary, because any growth can feel a little scary, but if it makes you come alive, if it feels like joy, and it feels like those things that you wanted to feel like, that is a green light. That means you're on the right path. Those are the things to do. If it isn't in any way draining or even flat and neutral, don't do it. Don't do it. Do less. Do less. It seems so counterintuitive. It's so different than what we're taught in this culture that we need to do. We need to do more. We need to do more. That's the way. You gotta like do more. Hustle, hustle, grind, grind. Hustle, hustle, grind, grind. No, that is not the path to 7-figure success, especially for women. Do less. Do the right things that are in alignment, and then it's like you have a bit, like it's like a slingshot, right? Like, phew. So like little bit of effort for a lot of reward. 4th, build with community. especially sisterhood. Wealth is not meant to be created alone. Our life is not meant to be lived alone, right? Even if you are a super introvert and you love being alone. I often love being alone, but we're not meant to be alone all the time. And we're not meant to be on this journey all the time. And our miracles and our manifestations will come through other people. And so you want to surround yourself with people that reflect your highest possibilities, but do surround yourself with people that raise you up vibrationally, people that make you come alive, people that like, you hang out with them, you leave, and you're like, you feel so good. You feel good when you're with them. You feel good when you leave them. If there are people that after you leave them, you're like, ugh, you're just totally drained, that does not serve you. And they like, even if you're introvert, and I get introvert, I'm an ambivert. I have my, like, sometimes I love the people and it gets me going. And then other times I'm like, I need my alone time. But certain communities, right? Certain sisters, like, especially when they are living a high game and they're cheering you on and they're amazing and they're like super positive, like I get totally energized. And then different people, like a little bit of time, and it's like energy vampires. So no to the energy vampires, yes to community that supports you, that uplifts you, that makes you come alive. Right. So those are really the ways that you get into alignment, and that alignment that leads that shift that will lead to that 7-figure life and 7-figure wealth. So the 7-figure life, ultimately the life is what's really most important, right? Like that where you get to feel what you want to feel, where you get to do what you want to do. And I had a conversation with Penelope Jane Smith, and we were talking about financial freedom. And we both define financial freedom as when your passive income, right? This is income that you're not trading your time and money, like your time for and effort. Passive income, when your passive income equals or exceeds your expenses, right? So that is financial freedom. At that point, you work because you want to, not because you have to. Right. So when you have that passive, when you're at that level of financial freedom, for some people that's 7 figures, but some people their expenses to live the lifestyle they want is not that much. Right. It might be that you love living off the grid and some, with acreage and dogs and sunshine and not much. And it's like in a simple life that is actually, it is a lot if that's what you want, right? Like it can be very full, but it doesn't have to be expensive. And if your lifestyle is not, you don't need necessarily 7 figures of income to have a 7-figure lifestyle. Right? The 7-figure lifestyle, I think, is that lifestyle that makes you happy, where you feel like money is not an issue. You get to live the life you want. And then sometimes that costs them. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8 figures, depending on and that's all good, or 9 figures. But for many people, it's not so much. So just again, like the things that will matter, that get you into alignment with what is important for you. It's defined by you. It's like my definition of a 7-figure lifestyle could be very different from yours. And that's totally okay. Like each of us were born with our unique gifts and desires and capabilities. And we're all meant to like share that and experience that in our own unique ways. So the first step is to get clear on what that is for you. Second step is you pause before taking any action, and you make sure that anything you do is in alignment with that first thing, right? That clarity. And we don't act unless it is. Less is more when it comes to action. Be. You want to be who you're becoming, not act, hustle, try to, make it happen that way. 3 is you'll use your joy, you'll use like your desired feelings as your compass. And 4 is you will do this with a community, especially a sisterhood that will light you up. And for women, like there's a lot of research that shows, especially like being around groups of other women is super good for us. That also came up again and again and again in these interviews, about the power of sisterhood to help you catapult. I'm a big fan of that, and a big, proponent of that, and I've like experienced that. So in closing, right? Um, the 7-figure lifestyle is not about squeezing more into your calendar. It's about aligning with your values, your joy, your higher vision. When you shift from hustle to alignment, you don't just create wealth, you create a life you actually want to live, a life you love to live. And when you live from that place, what once looked impossible, what seemed miraculous, becomes normal. All right. So if this is all resonating with you, I want to definitely make sure that you come to our 7-figure lifestyle summit. It's happening September 4th through 5th. And 20 extraordinary women leaders are going to share their strategies, their mindset shifts, their energy upgrades for creating wealth and well-being. Again, it's not about hustle. It's about specific strategies for ways to have more freedom, more joy, more you. And the best part, it's completely free to attend. You can go to tinyurl.com/Monique. And when I see CK, the number 7 figure to register now, I'm going to put this in the chat. And you can register for free. All right. So now it's time for our famed end of show Trinity, which is brag, gratitude, and a desire. So first, I brag all the, brag putting together this summit. I've had help, but I brag that it's been my idea putting this together. I've invited and attracted the most incredible group of women. I just brag having so much fun in doing these interviews, and y'all know how I feel about fun. So I brag that. I also brag that since my fun-iversary on August 13th, I have continued to have fun every day. So I brag that the fun continues, and I've decided to do 500 days of fun. So stay tuned to hear how that continues to propel me forward. And you all are invited to join me in doing your own fun challenges. Okay, so that's my brags. I am grateful. I'm grateful for each of these women. I'm grateful that they said yes. I'm grateful that they're generously gifting their time for this. I'm grateful for that. They've all given gifts to the attendees, which are super valuable. And then for VIPs, if you want to come, get a VIP ticket. VIP, it's only $97. It gives you all of the recordings to keep for life. Plus, you get literally, I think, over $4,000 worth of incredible, incredible gifts. So from one-on-one time with these women to courses, to tickets, to different things, it is so valuable. Any one of them is worth the VIP ticket. And you get to come to we're going to have an event for the speakers and the VIPs where you can come and be in this community, in this sisterhood, in this I'm just so excited because the women are so cool. They're so amazing. And I'm excited to have them all together. And I'm excited to have them together with you. Just that is worth so much more than $97, but also plus all the other stuff. It's a no-brainer. So I hope you definitely join us for the summit. Join us for this at that level. I wanted to make it a no duh. You're gonna do it. So that's happening. And then so I'm grateful for everyone's coming to the summit. I'm grateful for everybody, all those speakers and their generosity. And I desire us to have that, each of us really live our 7+ figure lifestyles I desire us to really be able to share the gifts that we were born on this earth to give, because like I feel like our world needs us. All right. There are some big problems that need to get addressed. And I think that if we're able to show up fully as ourselves to like give the gift to solve the problem, tackle the challenge that only we can do in the way that we can do it, like the world would be absolutely transformed. Like it would, everybody would be living miracles. So that's my desire, for all of us to just be in alignment with our highest and best good, which is for the highest and best good of all. So that's my desire. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for getting real with me today. Thank you for like being willing to stay in alignment, be in alignment, because we need you. We need you to live your greatest life. We need you to share your gifts fully. So thank you for being here to do that. And I hope to see you all soon. I hope to see you in the summit. Bye-bye.